Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me. This is Vinny Borelli on Make It Happen Mondays. I hope you had a great start to your week. Again, I might have to repeat this because it looked like the camera didn't kick on, but thanks for joining me for Make It Happen Mondays. You know, it's at the end of the month here, one more day left, so I hope you're ready for September. Excuse me, fall is upon us, although it doesn't seem like it with this 90-degree weather. But so tonight's going to be about imagination. A couple weeks ago, I talked about psychological strength and what that means. You know, it's really a fight, a battle we have each day with making the right choices and making the decisions to get us closer to our goals and our dreams. So that being said, I'm going to reference tonight a book called PsychoCybernetics. This book was written by Maxwell Maltz, who is a plastic surgeon, and what he found was a few different things in the mind of folks that he did surgery on, performed surgery on. These are all applicable, though, to what we talk about. And a couple of my partners and I were talking about this on my team about the psychological strengths and what we talked about a couple of weeks ago. But imagination is everything in pursuing your dreams and goals. And then if you look at my whiteboard behind me, creative imagination is even more important. So what does that mean? Well, that means you are what you think, right? So what you create in your mind, what you imagine to be true about yourself, those thoughts become things. That's how you manifest your dreams and goals. So what happens is a lot of things start happening, believe it or not, when you start putting yourself in the place of where that dream is. Now you got to be specific, which we'll get into in a minute, but you know, really in the book PsychoCybernetics, he talks about our brain, which is truly a goal-seeking machine. Once you put your mind to something, and again, this goes back to the power of attraction, the law of attraction, the secret, all those things, if you don't believe it, of course, having your strong faith as well, that this will happen, as we talked about yesterday on Significant Sundays. But this mental image that you put in yourself, what you visualize, will manifest itself, will become a reality if you do all the things that will get you closer to that goal and leave all the other stuff behind and put it off to the side. And quite frankly, a lot of us have a problem and struggle with that because there's so many distractions that come at us each day, right? So that being said, this is a mental practice that my team and I are suggesting that you do. You know, get into the habit that you are that person you want to be, or you have that item you want to have. It has to be specific. You know, they found on these studies they did on professional athletes, in particular they did on some golfers that did not even practice. They mentally visualized their swing getting better, their scores being lowered. And so this all came to fruition by way of focus and true mental determination to be better. They thought of themselves as winning and going through these movements. They did it with chess players as well. There was a chess player who imagined himself beating the best one in the world, and he did so with this mental practice. But so once you set that goal and you clearly set it in your mind, this mechanism is created. It's called creative mechanism that happens in your mind. And then what happens is, if you look back here, the creative mechanism is setting that goal, but clearly setting the goal. Like whatever it is you want to do, clearly set that goal and get in that. Then you'll start the process, if you will, and you have to accept and embrace the process. Because nobody wants to do that because it's hard. You know, the goals and dreams and desires, if they're worth anything, are going to be hard to obtain. But with focus, no one wants to go through that process. You can get there, but that, again, through focus, it takes a little bit of pain and suffering. But on the other side of that pain is usually success, right? So that being said, it kicks in a success mechanism. And the success mechanism, subconsciously, that drives you daily. That dictates, that sets that tempo that I reference in my book each day on getting you closer, on doing the right things to get you closer to those goals and desires. But if you don't do that, start with the creative, imagination, then kicking into your creative mechanism and then the success mechanism, you're not going to get there. You'll say you want it. Like a lot of people I talk to say, Vinny, I want this, or I want to be that, or I want this fancy car, I want this great job. That's not good enough to say you want it. Like, what are you doing to get there? You can say you want it all day long and post all the stuff you want about you're doing this, doing that, or the other thing. But unless you're actually doing it daily, your personal development and getting yourself taking one step closer each day, one little success story each day, each week to get you closer to your goals, then it's irrelevant. So that being said, again, it goes back to the Maxwell Maltz book, Dr. Maxwell Maltz, PsychoCybernetics, something you should pick up. It's not the easiest read, but it's the most powerful and educational read that I have like dove into. It really is. I don't know how to even explain it. But so if you find your real self, this is a self-image psychology that's also referenced. If you find your real self and you bring those mental images, that visualization, then you can live your life more in line with those goals and desires. So, I don't want to go on and on, but this is like a half-hour conference. I hope someone reaches out to me to talk more in depth about these things. But I got to tell you, at the end of my chapters, I put the boom. And the boom on this one is, like, stop wasting time, as I always say. But this is a question, can you clearly visualize the goals and desires you seek? Can you really put this into play? Can you have the imagination? Can you visualize where you want to be? And again, we reference the navigation system. Start where you're at today. Navigate how you're going to get there. We can help you put that navigation system in place if you would allow me, and I'll enable you to do that if you reach out to me. So you have nothing to lose. You really don't. You have nothing to lose. So if you're not living your life to the fullest, and you're not seeing yourself where you on the path, you're not seeing yourself making those little small accomplishments and small success stories to get you to your goals, then you're not doing something right. You're not going to be fulfilled. So again, I'm Vinny Borelli. Make It Happen Mondays is about making it happen. So let me help you make it happen. Reach out to me. I'm available via text. If you don't have my card, just go to my website. You can reach me anytime. But I'm looking forward to helping more people here as we move forward and dive into the school year with high schools and colleges that hopefully we'll be in front of if everything gets lifted here. But I appreciate you joining me. I look forward to you joining me on Significant Sundays next Sunday at 7 o'clock. We might pass on the holiday for Labor Day in respect for the holidays. So, but otherwise, have a great week. Make it happen. And thanks again. Good evening.